and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our video presentation. This is my group members. My friend and I, Tasha Nabila, choose assignment 3. That is the differences, method, advantages or disadvantages between ultraviolet UV radiation and cryopreservation in production of trochophore larvae.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tasha Nabila binti Hamzah. My metric number is 64394. So today I want to present about the different method, advantage or disadvantage between ultraviolet radiation and cryopreservation in production of trochophore larvae. So, what the meaning of ultraviolet radiation? Ultraviolet radiation is inactivate microorganism by forming pyrimidine dimers in RNA and DNA, which can interfere with transcription and replication. So, for the method, ultraviolet radiation have 6 steps. The number 1 is sperm suspension from larvae obtained either by induction sperming or surgery and placed in an open container with loci such as plate. Number 2, the suspension is the exposed to ultraviolet radiation 254 nm for a short period of time that depend on the density of the sperm suspension and UV power. Number 3, after irradiation, visual inspection to sperm mortality is made with the help of microscope. Sperm mortality is used an indicator vitality. Number 4, if the sperm do not move, there is no vitality and they will not be fertilized. And procedure is repeat with a new sperm suspension using a shorter UV exposure time. Number 5, the irradiation sperm suspension was used to inseminate the larva egg after the egg underwent at least 2 cell division. The egg suspension was placed in temperature control until set a lower temperature to delay development. Number 6, protective eyewear and clothing should be worn when irradiation burns since skin and eyes exposure to excessive ultraviolet radiation is harmful. So, advantage use ultraviolet radiation. The first one is easy to use. Number 2, effective. And number 3, no need for expensive freezing equipment. So, for disinfective use ultraviolet radiation, the first one is ultraviolet irradiation damage DNA by creating thymine dimer that affect DNA partitioning and replication. Number 2, need for a constant supplier of sexual matched molars individual for obtaining gametes so as to produce the trochophore larvae.
Okay, so what is cryopreservation? Cryopreservation is a process that preserves organelles, cell, tissue, or other biological construct by cooling the sample to very low temperatures. Okay, we move to methods. Clams were placed in a refrigerator at 4 to 8 Celsius the night before use. Next day, each clam was placed in a separate container with enough seawater, 25 to 30 Celsius, to cover the animal. Clams were left to pump for 30 to 60 minutes undisturbed. If no clams spawned, water was drained from each container and a few clams taken to dissect for sperm. Lastly, the other clams were left in their containers without water for 50 to 30 minutes before refilling with warm seawater. Okay, we go to the advantages. Require a source of liquid nitrogen that may not be available to culturists. and it is apparent that a simple and inexpensive method for producing developmentally arrested bivalve trochophore would be useful for fish culturists. Reduce genetic drift. It can help to maintain the genetic integrity of trochophore larvae by slowing down the accumulation of mutations. The last advantages is seasonal variability. Cryopreservation can overcome the seasonal variability in the production of trochophore larvae, as the sperm and egg can be stored and used at a later time. The last slide is about disadvantages. Disadvantages is damage to cell. The freezing and thawing process can cause damage to the cell, which can result in reduced fertility rates or developmental abnormalities in the resulting trochophore larvae. The last disadvantages is limited success rates. Cryopreservation can have limited success rates when it's come to producing trochophore larvae due to the damage that can occur to cells during the freezing and thawing process. That's all from me and Tasha Nabila. Explain about the differences, method, advantages or disadvantages between ultraviolet UV radiation and cryopreservation in production of trochophore larvae. Thank you.